Big Dog's going to help give our presentation or present our awards. For those of you who don't know, Big Dog was a former Pennsylvania individual. Why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and what you're doing with PDGA, sir?
No, actually, I lived in Jersey of all places.
Jersey.
Spent all my time in Newtown. I'm sorry, my wife thought I lived in Pennsylvania. So I was real lucky to hook up with a good club there and really got into the sport. Then I had a knee operation, then a shoulder operation. As many of us do when we get older and have operations, except for where's Mr. New Knees at? Oh, there you go. Yeah, except for Jay. We tend to start doing more the organizing side, so I moved into that, and then was tired of working ungodly hours to make money for a company over in Germany. The offer came up with a tour manager job and took it. Haven't regretted a minute of it, except leaving this area. So that's the worst thing about moving down there was missing all the folks. But I get to see them on swings through the vibrant, and this is great. It just happens to be the weekend we're at the shore right before we take our daughter back to college, so it worked out beautifully. But yeah, I'm the tour manager at the PGA now down in Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
So all good.
Now, as I was doing all this, I got an email from another prestigious former Pennsylvania individual. This is from Stork Roddick. I'll try to make sure my volume's up loud enough for everybody to hear this. But he wanted to give a little presentation of his own.
He's never lost for words.
Be there today with you folks for this induction. I'm really excited about it. It's funny because we were just talking about this at the induction of the Hall of Fame at Worlds in Indiana just a few weeks ago, and talking about how really important the state level Hall of Fame organizations are and will be, and we're hoping that every state will have them, because the states that have developed them have really enjoyed them, and they've been great. And I'm just so pleased to see Pennsylvania added to that list, and what a cast of initial inductees you've got. I mean, really impressive. I don't have the pleasure of knowing all of them, but hopefully that'll happen eventually. But Joe and Old Goat and Jay Gary and Don and Red, gee, I haven't seen Red in a while. And then that guy I know real well, Papa Jack. I just couldn't be more pleased to see that coming together, and hope that it'll have many, many years of illustrious additions. It's funny, when I left the East Coast to come and take the International Frisbee Association job in '75, there wasn't a single, I left behind me, not a single permanent disc golf course in the state. And the funny thing is, we really didn't think about it that way. I can remember when Ed and I went to pull down the course at Oak Grove after the '75, I guess it must have been the '75 World Frisbee Championships. We had some delay, and it was a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and we got back out there just to see, what was going on, and there were dozens and dozens of people playing, and we said, "Who the hell are these people?" We didn't know them, strangers who had heard about the course or had seen the championship or whatever, and just came out and started playing. And we thought, oh wow, this is interesting. I mean, it's not just temporary courses and just people that we know. This could be something that people are interested in who don't even know us. So anyway, it's just a real thrill to look at the map now and see all the tremendous courses that you've developed in the state, and this this Hall of Fame recognition will even accelerate things more. I think calling out the folks that have made all these key contributions to develop the state disc golf in the way it has. So my most hearty congratulations. I hope that sometime in the future my travel timing will work with future inductions and state championships, and that I can come by and hang out and see a future induction. So have a great evening, and I often wish I was there more than usual today.
That's a bad song.
Get one of the kids up there, show Chad.
My feelings would be hurt if you weren't telling the truth. All right, guys. All right. So we had an almost equal amount of amateurs and pro world champions, and I'm going to start out with the amateurs. And our first amateur that we're going to recognize is J. Gary Dropchow. He was the 1989 world champion, and also the senior player of the year in 2001. And if I'm not mistaken, he won the Bob West Sportsmanship Award in 2008. Am I correct, Jay Gary?
Sure.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Come on up and get your trophy.
Okay.
Hey, Gary! And we need to get a picture of you with the trophy.
You want it?
You got it. You got it.
I know you want to keep this short, so I don't want to say much at all, except for thanks to everybody that's ever put in a course or run a tournament or say one. Thanks for Chad for putting this together, and I especially want to thank my wife Jan for helping me do this all the time.
All right, great. There is a fancy box for you, bigger. Our next award winner has 2 world champions under her belt. She won the 2009 and 2010 world champions as the female advanced masters, Marie Fry.
Much disc golf this year, but I have been playing for a while, and what brings me back to disc golf all the time is the people. It's different from other sports. It's competitive, but I can have a need, and that woman I'm trying to is going to be the first one there, or I'm pulling something out of my bag to help that woman there. And what is most telling is that both of those world championships, the first person to throw their arms around me was the woman who took second.
We've actually got quite a field of women masters world champions, because in 2011 another Pennsylvania individual won the world championship, and that was Frida Everly.
I haven't got much to say, but I love the sport and the people that play and
And
Wait, what you talking about Bob?
our most recent world champion, who won last year in the Advanced Legends division, Bill Sharon Sr.
Well, I guess I'm the rookie in the group compared to all these other guys that have played a long time. I guess I want to say a couple things. My home club initially was Creekside, and they welcomed me as the old man of the group, but they still won't give me strokes and tags. So I will negotiate that. But I do want to thank everybody that was in charge of inducting and starting the Hall of Fame. I appreciate it. My first big tournament was the one I won down in Charlotte, which my son took part of or helped me through. And went out last year and played it in Kansas, and I found out there's wind that's associated with it. I won. I didn't quite as well, but I still had a lot of time. Thank you for the recognition. Appreciate it.
Now, we did have one junior world champion, and unfortunately he was not able to join us today. But I believe accepting on his behalf is his mother. Marcus Rainey Dropchow won the world championship in 2005 for the junior boys 13 and under. And he did send me a nice little bio. Are you reading it?
No.
No, yeah. No,
This
no,
isn't
you
a
read
bio.
it.
This, Jay Gary made him write something last night.
I had to say that.
I might be able to read it.
No poetry.
No, that's okay.
I'm allowed to read this part.
Marcus says, this sport still play a huge role in my life, and nearly all the people I have befriended have been Frisbee players in some capacity. Anyone that has played any disc sport can agree that these sports are so addicting, foster some of the greatest friendships that you could ever hope to have. And he just says he wants to meet his mother and Jay Gary's father.
All the disc sports players say, he went to the dark side. He's an ultimate player now.
Don't get away.
His knees give out. Now we're going to go to the professionals. The first pro we had is not able to join us today either. Red Whittington has been a world champion in 2 different divisions. He was the world champion in the men's masters division in 1991, and then again in the grandmasters division in 1998. And accepting on his behalf is one of our other inductees, J. Gary Dropchow.
Red Road Little Snake was to get you it down. He said,
Jay Gary made him do
Made
that
you
too.
I was going to say that.
I was pleased to learn that Pennsylvania would have its own Disc Golf Hall of Fame, but when I discovered that I would be in the first group of inductees, I was truly honored. Through my 34 years of playing disc golf, I've made lasting friendships, some over 30 years, and experienced warm camaraderie from fellow players. I wish to thank the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Society for promoting the sport of disc golf, organizing tournaments, and setting up disc golf courses. I owe much of my success to this great group who was instrumental in helping me win 3 world champion titles. Yeah, I think it was double champion.
Okay.
Doubles.
I didn't count doubles. I'm not counting many at this point. Okay. Our next world champion and also a winner of the Bob West Award for Sportsmanship back in '97, world champion in the men's masters division in 2001, and I believe we got his trophy sitting here, is Joe Mila.
beautiful. Definitely want to thank Chaz for your efforts. Fantastic job. Scott for doing the print. Wow, disc golf, what does that mean to me? Just about everything. It means everything. I got to know so many people over 32 years doing this. Got a lot of people started in it, and I'll tell you what, competition, nothing like it. Nothing. Never give up. Don't ever give up. It's a fantastic sport. That next hole, you can get it right back.
Okay, our next inductee from, actually, a fairly local guy. I'm surprised I didn't know him before now, but I've only been in Pennsylvania for about 5 years now. Winning the World Championship in the men's senior Grandmasters division in 1984. And from what I'm seeing, he was in a tie with Steady Ed. So I don't know if there was ever a tiebreaker or what went on with that. So you must have just
You
decided
don't break
to split.
ties with Ed, you give it to him.
Are you coming?
Oh, that's right, everybody can see in there, he doesn't have to come too far.
We'll just bring it to you.
Oh. I'm gonna fall the hell down and break ties. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I was really overwhelmed when I heard about this, because frankly, I'm more of an overall disc player than a golfer. I mean, I was playing overall world's things from 1975 up until just 3 years ago, and
No, you're not.
but every one of those had 7 events, and one of them was golf. And if you look in the iPad, you'll see that I won a number of them, 13 of the overall things, and I want to thank you for your efforts. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, Jack.
We have another world champion in the Legends division. We got a lot of legends out there. I'm impressed. We've got some good old golfers out there.
Waiting for you too, Chad.
Right.
I have been a legend in my own mind forever. I love this sport because it reminds me, because I'm really old, of the flower children of the 60s. It's the closest comparison, upgraded into the 13s or whatever we are now. It's the closest thing to that. And the camaraderie is just unreal. We have a thing at Sesley like no other course. You come there as a complete stranger. You are welcome from the second you get there. As long as you're not an AH, you are welcome. I'm grateful to all you people who put this together. I'm honored to be a part of it and lucky that it was my year when I did win. But beyond this, what I really, really hope is that I'm remembered for the things I did to try to help our sport grow. And for that, I'm happier than a pity shoe.
We gotta bleep so much here.
And last but certainly not least on our list, winning the Senior Legends World Championship in 2010 is our local friend Don Dillon.
Well, thank you. I truly do appreciate this, and I think it's a great idea that you've established this Hall of Fame. not only for us old folks, but for the sport of disc golf. I hope it gets the publicity from the state that it deserves, and that it doesn't go just as some small individual incident. After all, who knows about disc golf? The shadow do. Well, the point is that in my experience of trying to support the sport for seniors, I find so many people that know nothing about disc golf. We're not a big money sport. We're not softball, we're not baseball, we're not football, we're not basketball. But we're one hell of a good sport for all ages and all genders. And that's what makes it so unique. What a lot of the young people are forgetting is that us old folks have a contribution to make to the game. And that contribution is a win-win story. Because from a health standpoint, mentally, aerobic, the whole synopsis of the brain is elastic, plastic, that this is a great sport for seniors. But they don't know about it. And they think golf, oh my God, that's $1,000 golf bag, that's a club, that's fees, that's tee times. Only you can convince more seniors to play. And I would hope that this Hall of Fame idea will spread in the state and will get the publicity that it needs and will encourage not only young people, but that's the market. From the manufacturer standpoint, the market is the young people. I hope that this sort of thing will generate more interest in the senior players. From a fun standpoint, a recreational standpoint, and perhaps from a competition standpoint, and perhaps increased membership to the PDGA. It all builds, but it takes your help. Thank you very much.